Now, regardless of what it means by true equality, which we'll discuss later on, I suppose the first and foremost question to tackle now is that why is equality important? In Chinese, there is a famous proverb that says the prosperity of a family comes from family harmony. Okay, let me say that again. The prosperity of a family comes from family harmony. The Analects also teach people that harmony is the most precious quality when practicing various rules of propriety, or so-called rights. Okay, human cannot live without society, and simply they cannot survive on their own in the wild, right? So human must deal with other people. Now, in doing so, harmony is most important. Otherwise, the society will collapse, not to say economic achievement or a happy human life. Now, harmony is so fundamental to our life that the Buddha specifically summarizes 6 principles to achieve it, namely the 6 principles of harmony and respect. In the flower ornament scripture, the Buddha even says that the practicing of 6 principles ensures the continuity of the lineage of Buddha teaching. The principles themselves were illustrated by the Buddha specifically for Buddhist monks in a group to abide by. So let's have a brief look at each one of them and how they mirror the modern society. So when Buddhist monks practice together, they must first establish common view of things, the common view. And this is in fact the foundation that unites people together in a community. To take Pure Land Buddhism as an example, the common goal of all practitioners is to be reborn in the Western Pure Land after this lifetime. And for all Buddhist practitioners in general, regardless of the different dharmas or different schools of Buddhism, the goal is to achieve enlightenment. And only after the common goal is established can people learn from each other and speed up the progress. Now, in economic management, there are also several goals to be established for all functions and departments to work together. For instance, if you look at the mission statement of any central bank in the world, it usually involves maintaining monetary and financial stability. Right? You can see similar statements of ECB, the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve, the People's Bank of China, Bank of Japan, and so on. A bank, of course, consists of various departments with different focus. Taking Bank of England as an example, the bank issues banknotes, also makes monetary policy through operating interest rate, which is carried out by what is called a Monetary Policy Committee. Also identifies and monitors risks in the financial system, operated by Financial Policy Committee. Also acts as a settlement agent for other banks and members in the payment system, provide banking services for UK government and carries out research, etc. But no matter what the functions are and how they are called and structured, or where they're located in a bank building, I guess all functions are guided by the common goal. So that is a bank. Now, on the national level, economic management can be guided by a number of goals as well, such as maintaining a stable and achievable GDP growth rate during certain part of business cycle. On a company level, the goal can be to quickly expand into fast-growing market or something like that. For private equity companies, the goal can involve improving cost efficiency and increasing intrinsic value of newly bought out companies, etc. So anyway, without a common goal, nothing gets done. So that's the first principle, establish a common view. The second principle is for all Buddhist practitioners to observe the same precepts. So for ordinary people, this means that people must abide by the same codes, regulations, and law. Now, companies have a code of practice, right? And families have rules and traditions as well. So that's the second one. The third principle, living together. Now, this is interesting. Under the scenario of Buddhist monks and practitioners, living together is a very good way to practice discipline and the minds of calmness. So, what does that mean? Well, I guess if anyone has any experience of traveling with friends and having to share the same camp, you may still recall the slightest annoyance, when different habits of people encountered, right? So in order to maintain harmony and friendship, what should we do? Well, we must keep a close eye on our own behavior, what we do and what we say. Now, in Buddhist practice, it says that living together can expose your bad habit to your own eyes so that you can correct it and advance in your practice. In society, however, we don't really have a choice. We must live together for survival reasons. We established this concept in chapter 1, in lecture 1, right? We have to live together, otherwise we can't survive. So it is absolutely crucial for people to, abandon selfish thoughts and work together to maintain harmony. This is not just about a group of friends or families, but also colleagues working in the same company, citizens in the same city, countries on the same planet. So things like, eliminating people that we don't like with the act of war is the most evil and the silliest thing to do. And crushing other countries for own economic benefit is basically suicidal in the long term. So this is principle number 3. The fourth principle is about the importance of keeping a close eye on what we say. And the fifth principle is about maintaining a positive attitude in a community. Now, the last principle has direct implication on the concept of equality, and it basically set the theoretical support for distribution method. Sharing benefits. Now, benefits refers to material life. So in Buddhist community, regardless of individual identity, be it disciples or masters, every aspect of material life is equal among them. The original purpose of this principle is to harness a sense of letting go and detachment from material-driven life. But in a society, it means the appropriate allocation of reward and resources, and it by no means absolutely equal share. That's not what it means in a society. So, according to the Buddha's teaching, these principles are very fundamental to the harmony of community. If we think about this very carefully, in economic life and governance, appropriate distribution is crucial to the success of economic development and social harmony. And then this is why we have to talk about distribution. And an appropriate distribution is equality. Now, as a matter of fact, the Confucians attach more importance to the problem of distribution than to the problems of production. Okay, so more importance to the problem of distribution rather than production itself. Now, according to the traditional Chinese philosophy and sages' teaching, social harmony is only partially affected by overall production, but mostly determined by fairness. So we'll now discuss the methodology of achieving appropriate distribution. And there are two broad channels to achieve this. One is by the principle of contribution, and the other is by the principle of need. Okay, so in the upcoming video, we'll talk about distribution achieved through the principle of contribution.